Hi and Assalamualaikum to everyone. So now our group will be presenting about artificial intelligence. These are the group members that consists of 4 members, namely Adilah, Farahin, Munirah and also Atika Husna. First and foremost, we go to the introduction. So AI is a machine's capability to emulate intelligent human conduct and behavior. It can minimize the workforce and enhance the quality of the performance of work. So the legal work can now remain sufficient and it can save a lot of time. So the lawyers can also spend their time on more essential and significant matters in other cases. For example, Smart Law may be the first platform in Southeast Asia to furnish such solutions to the legal fraternity. Moving on to the legal position of utilizing AI in the legal fraternity of Malaysia. Now, for Sabah and Sarawak, the judiciary of Sabah and Sarawak introduced AI to act as a guideline in the legal fraternity. It is to benefit the judicial officers by regulating appropriate sentences for criminal offences. It can improve the efficiency during the process of the judiciary and uplift the quality and consistency for the decision because AI can predict an outcome for that particular dispute. AI will examine every data to speed up the process. Moreover, the judges can do analysis to mete out suitable jail penalties and fines. The AI analysis will allow the prosecutors and the lawyers to notice in advance for the potential outcome of the judgment. In Sabah and Sarawak, the AI tool was trialed for 2 offences. Firstly, drug possession under Section 12 Clause 2 of the Dangerous Drug Act. Secondly, rape under Section 376 Clause 1 of the Penal Code. Apart from that, AI recognizes the patterns to apply to the present case and produces a sentencing recommendation that judges can select to accept and approve or to reject or deviate. So all parties have a right to obtain a fair and just trial. Therefore, AI must be in accordance with this fundamental right.
In Malaysia, there are already technologies being applied to aid in the efficiency of the court. They are called as the e-court system. The e-court system consists of e-filing, case management system, case recording and transcribing system, community and advocate portal system, video conferencing system, and queue management system. Even though the e-court system has drastically improved the performance of the courts in Malaysia, there are still initiatives that could be taken to take it to further heights. In the Malay Peninsula, the courts have not applied the usage of AI yet compared to the Sabah and Sarawak courts. It was found that the courts of the Malay Peninsula is still lacking behind the courts of Sabah Sarawak in making use of technology in the court. Even if the courts in Malaysia choose to not adopt the use of AI, it doesn't give effect or change the way how the court handle things. It will still remain the same. But can the court settle with the way it is without any improvement on hand to make things more modernized and way more efficient than the way it is? The e-court system had managed to transform the adjudication system of Malaysia and had reaped significant benefits while modernizing and globalizing the adjudication system at the same time. Thus, imagine by applying AI, the country can create more effective and efficient legal system, which is vital to administer justice fairly according to the rules of law and further enhancing access to justice in the process. As the use of technology is inevitable even in the courts, as per stated by Tan Sri Datuk Sri Panglima Richard Malanjung, it is only a matter of time before the courts in Malaysia will start to adopt and further develop the usage of AI in the courts. To summarize for the AI in the legal fraternity in Malaysia, there are 3 main points, which are firstly, the Sabah and Sarawak court have started applying the usage of AI to produce sentencing recommendation. Secondly, the courts in the Malay Peninsula have not started applying the usage of AI yet. And lastly, as the Sabah and Sarawak court have applied the use of AI, it means that the usage of AI is being recognized in Malaysia.
Now, the comparison of artificial intelligence legal approach in other developed countries such as the United Kingdom and Singapore. Firstly, in the United Kingdom, in 2019, the United Kingdom had taken second place in the top 20 regarding artificial intelligence readiness in the world. Next, the artificial intelligence adoption in the UK. For the court, the UK has an e-court website which provides alternative disputes resolution services. The UK also has an e-filing system in courts and tribunal judiciary. For the law firm, many law firms are starting to adopt the artificial intelligence in their firms due to the encouragement of the UK government that had funded a huge sum of money. Moving on to the comparison between the United Kingdom and Malaysia. Firstly, the e-court. UK e-court only limited to solve the dispute through mediation and arbitration online as well as has an e-filing system, while in Malaysia, the e-court has various features such as the e-filing system, video conferencing system, and the newest features is the data sentencing. Secondly, the law firms. In the United Kingdom, many law firms adopted the artificial intelligence, while in Malaysia, it depends on the law firm itself because they need to spend their own money to install it. Lastly, the provision or regulation. Both countries do not have any regulation to legalize the using of artificial intelligence, but in the UK, the European Union has published a framework of ethical rules in using the AI, while in Malaysia, the adoption is well received by the legal fraternity.
Before we jump on to how AI works in Singapore, I would like to stress on a case that applied AI in the judgment. For example, in the case of B2C2 Limited and Queen Pte Limited, the Singapore International Commercial Court SICC had to determine how to apply legal standards to a cryptocurrency exchange in which a computer made transactions, i.e. by algorithmic trading operations and not actively entered by a human being. Thus, the laws referred to were Section 13 of the Patents Act, Chapter 221, which stated that for an invention to be patentable, it must meet three requirements. Firstly, it is new and requires an innovative phase, and thirdly, it capable of industrial application. Next, in Section 7A1B of the Copyright Act, Chapter 63, which stated that it is to cover the source code of a computer program. Now, let's see how AI works in Singapore. Number one, it helps lawyers search documents across thousands of pages and answer questions relevant to their law in seconds. Secondly, it allows them to foresee the consequences of sentencing and almost automatically derive legal precedents and verdicts for criminal crime, disputed divorce, and medical negligence. And thirdly, it makes legal services more available to the masses as they can directly connect with these services through an online platform. Fourthly, it can scan its entire database, including tens of thousands of previous decisions and verdicts. And last but not least, it can extract the related documents or judgments and rulings, and to answer the questions, rank them in the order of importance. Now, we're on the comparison on how AI works in Malaysia. So first and foremost, it is said to be an accounting for previous criminal convictions that includes the thought process of sentencing in its parameters. In addition, it is a possession of drugs under Section 12 of the Dangerous Drugs Act and rape under Section 376 of the Penal Code. Moreover, it is also to be said as and upon hearing the proposal, parties are encouraged to offer alternative sentencing suggestions. And last but not least, the judge then decides whether to follow the advice and provide his or her decision with a brief explanation.
In conclusion, we can see that there is increasing acceptance by the judiciary of legal technology innovation, which can be a catalyst for the legal fraternity to embrace it more broadly, while the lawyers are encouraged to keep up with technological advancement through various industries so that they are not left behind. That's the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.